Good day, everyone, and welcome to Cardboard Buzz. And today, we're here to tell you how fun is Space Base.
Cardboard Buzz.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ivan, and with me is Drew.
Hello.
Drew, I have a question for you.
Yes,
How much of a space admiral are you?
I am having not been to space, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, we wouldn't know, but in Space Base, that's what we are trying to be. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So in Space Base, players assume the role of a commodore in command of a small fleet of ships. These ships begin docked at their stations and are then deployed to sectors as new ships are commissioned under your command.
Mhm.
So in this game, players use cargo vessels to engage in trade and commerce, mining vessels to build recurring base income, and carriers to spread your influence. Establish new colonies in a sector to gain even more influence. Gain enough influence, and you just might be promoted to admiral.
Interesting.
Yes, so this is a game published by AEG and designed by John Clare.
By the way, for those listening who don't know what AEG means, that's Andrew E. No, no, it's
Garcia.
Alderac Entertainment Group. But yes.
Yes, Alderac Entertainment Group. Yes.
And yeah, this is one of our from a series of games that we'll be reviewing from the Alderop Entertainment Group.
Yes.
We are not sponsored, just so
Nagkataon
happens.
lang.
Nagkataon lang. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, for those who are not yet familiar on what this series is, this is basically how fun is space base, or this is a part of of our how fun is series, where we talk about games and tell you how fun a game is based on three areas. One is learning and teaching the rules.
Yes.
Second is by the theme,
Theme.
and the third is the overall gameplay experience.
Hmm.
All right. So starting off with the rules. Okay. So the rule book, Drew. Actually, I don't think if I've shown you this or if you've seen it, but the rule book is 32 pages.
Wow.
It's
I,
actually called
yeah.
Field Manual. Yeah,
Ooh.
so medyo cute siya on that end. Parang space-based field manual. So this is how you would go off to space and,
Mm.
parang
So,
very astronaut siya.
so Ivan, as the designated teacher of the rules, how was it like teaching yung space base?
Wait. Sorry. Okay. Uh, the rules. Okay. Learning the rules again. Mentioning this is a 32-page booklet,
Yes.
which some heavy Euros have 20 pages lang or less. So it actually is intimidating at first. But when you open it, you would find that marami ring art, marami ring diagram. So when you're skimming through the rule book itself and you're reading, there are facts about the ships that are included in the game. So medyo ano siya, in terms of flow
Mm-hmm.
and I guess in terms if I would rate the quality of it being a page turner. So as a book, no.
With many
Uh
pages.
yeah, siguro it's like a 3 out of 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The rule book could have been better in the sense that teaching the game is easier than learning it from the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, kasi when I taught you guys, it's simple. You roll the dice, you do the effect, and that's it basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
I
minsan
noticed
and
it.
but sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I noticed that when you were teaching the game,
Mm.
it seemed less complicated than what it looks like on the rules.
Yes. And also even after setup, parang okay,
Yeah.
dami spaceship, tong cubes na to and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pero I guess the thing na meron din dun sa rulebook is it has what's this examples for scenarios, on
Yeah.
how things interact, and sometimes the cards are also detailed
Mm-hmm.
on each icon, each symbol. It's just not a one sentence explanation. There is actually they actually went through on what as much as they can on how it
Yeah.
would be. So, yun. At
I
what do you
noticed
think?
that the rules have well, not the rules, pero gameplay or complexity of the rules has a natural progression because the gameplay itself facilitates that you buy cheaper cards first, which are simpler to
Yeah,
operate, and then you progress with more expensive cards that have more combos.
exactly.
So parang after a couple of rounds, which is normal naman to any game, you kind of get the hang of it, and then you're ready. Once you're ready, you can explore more complicated um, cards. But yeah,
Yes.
it was pretty straightforward then. I wouldn't rely so much on the rule book though when it comes to
Mm,
teaching. You would have to really maybe do some research and go check out how they teach yung rules niya.
exactly. Pero I mean,
Siya heavy
again,
though.
overall the game is not that difficult naman.
No, no, very not
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. All right. So up next the theme.
Wait,
Wait.
we're gonna
Before
score
before we
yung
go
rules.
there. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Okay. What's your score for the rules?
Before we go to my score, let me just tell our listeners, the two people listening, guys. Okay, we opted for a 1 out of 5 rating,
uh,
and since we're with space base, I am going to be giving points based on space theme. So for
mhm.
rules, I give space base 3 planets. Three
Ah.
planets out of 5.
So magagawan kami ni Drew ng ano.
See, this is what happens when you don't rehearse.
Yes. Pero I'm going to give the learning and teaching of the rules of space base 3.5 moons.
Ooh, moons naman yung ano.
Uh,
Alright, by
okay.
the way, for those who are confused about the rating system, we don't blame you with this.
Yeah. Pero again, it's usually stars, diba? 3 out of 5
Yeah,
stars. Yeah. So we're just changing the stars to something
yeah,
else.
basta
That's
3
really
pa
good
rin.
thing.
3 ah.
Yeah. 3.5 and 3 for Drew.
Okay, sige. We're
Yeah.
off.
Yes, we're off. What do you think about the theme?
Ah, so this is one of my peeves when it comes to, and I've noticed, games from AEG, which we love,
Mm-hmm.
but theme is not that strong. In
Uh-huh.
fact, I would say na one of the typical styles ng well, when it comes to AEG is they have a strong abstract game.
Uh-huh.
And then dadamitan na lang nila ng theme, which
Mm-hmm.
is how I feel about Space Base.
Yeah, I see
First
that.
off, they have a lot of cards, and the cards have like names of ships.
Mm-hmm.
I've never learned a single name of the ship.
Okay.
Kasi the theme, it's an abstract game. It could have
Yeah.
been any kind of I don't know what this mechanic is, dice
Uh-huh.
choosing a thing na ano niya, but it doesn't have a very strong space theme to it,
Uh-huh.
which I'll touch on later as I when we get to reskinning this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not very good for me when it comes to theme. The mechanics, siguro the strongest theme dun is yung dice itself, which is a little funky kasi yung dice mo weird eh.
May chip eh, no? Pero
Yeah,
what do you think of the art?
that one I like kasi it hankers back to parang 90s and 80s na anime style of
Ah,
animation, the artwork. I love the
yeah.
artwork.
The
I was just
cartoons.
a little bit disappointed that it didn't transcend after yung art. Pero in terms of box art, it was pretty good. I like the cards. I like
Yeah,
yun nga. Pero yun, like, ngayon ko nga lang nalaman, oh, magiging Commodore pa ako.
yeah.
Really?
I,
Okay.
and I like the art too. I like how it looks when you have your ships on your board na.
Mm,
Kasi parang it's a Milky Way or parang it's space basically. The stars kind of, go together.
yes.
But as you mentioned, it could be anything else.
Yes.
But I can see some correlation, on space base being as it is, as your player board being the main space station and you're
Mhm.
docking ships into there. But the main mechanic kasi, which is dice rolling,
Mm.
doesn't tie up with the game exactly.
Yeah,
That's what
yun
I would
din.
say. Yeah. Kaya hindi siya ganun kalakas, I mean, in terms of theme. Because, you know, theme and mechanics should go together for
Yeah.
it to be really strong as well.
There
But
wasn't a lot of space or base to this one.
yeah. But still, I mean, I like the art, so that has some points for me.
If there's anything good that comes out of this, it's the fact that the theme does not distract from the gameplay. Kasi it
That's
can
true.
go the other way naman eh, 'di ba?
Yeah.
We've played some games na sobrang high quality yung theme.
Mm.
Sun it's distracting naman with the actual
Yeah.
gameplay. Almost theme heavy, not gameplay heavy naman siya. In this case, the theme did not distract you from playing.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So what's your score for the theme?
Okay, since we are sticking with our space theme rating system,
Yeah.
I give the theme of this game two rockets and a satellite, so 2.5.
So 2.5.
Two and a
Okay.
half. Yes.
Two rockets and a satellite. All right. So I would be actually giving it the same rating. So I'm giving it 2.5 Milky Ways.
First off, there's only one Milky Way.
Well, there are now 2.5. Uh, in our own space that I have created.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on to the third and last area of our evaluation of space base,
Yeah.
the gameplay experience.
This is the equivalent of our X factor.
Yes.
Yeah, kasi this is the part where kung if you guys are watching cooking shows, ito na yung tinikman na namin yung
Oo,
yung
yun na yun.
uh,
Lahat ng
so,
build up para dun sa
uh,
TK man lang din talaga.
we graded yung ingredients, we graded how it looks. Now it's time for the taste test.
Yes. All right. So, do you want to start?
Yes. So when we played this, we had like 4 players,
Uh-huh.
and after learning the rules, we were a little familiar with the rules because we played like a version of Machikoro.
Yeah.
Um, I really liked it. I liked that it
Mhm.
was straightforward, and there was again that natural progression of complexity. Because what happens is you're not thrown into the deep end and then forced to figure out so many things,
Yes.
which I
Mhm.
don't like.
Uh-huh.
So at the same time, after learning the ropes of the rules and how the cards interact with each other, you start forming this plan of parang
Mm.
combo, which
Yeah.
I and high replayability, and the fact that there was a lot of nuance when it comes to choosing your cards. The only thing
Yeah.
I don't like about this game, the fact that I lost twice. So sobrang lapit.
Yeah.
Sobrang lapit niya. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing a game like this. High replayability for me. So I give it high marks, which we'll
Yeah.
give later. Yeah.
Right. The thing is with this game, so basically your game and condition is if a player gets to 40 points. So that will trigger the
Yes.
end of the game. So
Mhm.
as Drew mentioned, meron siyang natural progression na at the beginning of the game, parang okay, lahat kayo pulube pa, lahat kayo poor pa yung ships nyo.
Yeah,
So your
yeah.
income is very low. And then you get to a point na, oh, okay, parang nasa mid-game na tayo. Everyone is gaining 10 gold per turn. So you're having the ability to buy more expensive ships would grant you more gold on a turn basically.
Yes.
So that progression parang that graph kung baga na steady upwards siya, nagka-climax siya, 'di ba, at some point. So
Yes. It's a
that's one
classic,
thing.
engine building
Yes,
feel to
yes,
it. Yeah.
exactly. That's one thing that I like about the game.
Mm.
What another thing is, I've told this to my play group, na I find the game very therapeutic.
Yeah,
I,
relaxing.
yes, it's relaxing. It's zen like that, in the sense that you're just rolling dice, and then getting whatever you get. So
Yes.
and there's also this thing sa off turn, when it's not your active turn, you have a chance to get something,
Yeah.
unlike Machikoro.
Yes.
So
So that's one thing that you can expect with a game that you don't have any dead time where you're
yes,
just waiting for your turn to do your stuff. You're
yes,
engaged with other people's roles and you're doing something so productive.
Yeah, sometimes you're not just cheering for your own dice rolls. You're
Yes.
cheering for for the other players' rolls as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
kasi you would benefit from them. Eh.
Mm.
Yun.
There's
Um,
also a little bit of player interaction
yeah,
during, but not a lot of blocking
not
or
really. Yeah.
you are bidding. Well, you're trying to get cards at
Mm,
the that others might get ahead of you, but
yeah.
that doesn't really affect yung game mo so much.
Yes.
Not that weird, parang crippling sense of loss na parang, oh no,
Yeah.
you got the card that I wanted. Parang ganun.
Yeah. And
Wala.
there are a lot of choices then kasi dun sa market board. So
Mhm.
you won't really well, I guess there are some cards that you'd actually regret missing out on. Pero I wouldn't bother too much about
That's
that.
also one of the things I like about it is there's multiple ways to gain points,
Yeah.
multiple ways to win. But yeah, so for that one, yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Last thing that I want to point out in the gameplay experience is I guess it plays 30 to 60 minutes. Between
Mhm.
that range, it could be really fast when someone is really, really lucky with the dice rolls. Pero it's on that range of 30 to 60 minutes. So, in that amount of time, the amount of fun that you would have is really, that ratio is really, really high. So, for
Yeah.
me, that's why I like the game. Yeah.
So rating for overall play experience.
Yeah, so play experience for me, I would rate it 4.5. No, just four black holes.
Or that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I would give it 3.5 stars.
Well, of course,
Actual stars na.
it relates. Yeah,
Yes.
actual stars. Yeah. All right. So do you average it out?
Yes.
No, not.
So
I won't
uh,
average it, pero at least on my end, I will give it an overall rating of a 3.5 then. So three and
mm,
a half rocket
rocket.
ships.
So in my case, I've averaged it out, and we're close. Mine is a
Mm.
solid three.
Mm.
Three. Wala na akong meteorites.
Ah,
Yeah,
pwede meteorites. Okay.
rocketing around ano.
Yes. All right. So yeah, if you're interested with the game, that's what we think on how it's played and how fun it would be.
Yeah.
What do you think, Drew? On who would you recommend this game to, basically?
Right. Okay. So for this one, I would give it. It's almost good enough for be a gateway. It's
Yeah.
not bad.
Agree.
Although I can understand if it's not your first choice as a gateway game because
Mm.
maraming nuances with the gameplay that experienced players might appreciate more. And
Yeah.
so it's a good, I'd say, if you're like on a game night, ito na yung finisher nyo. Everyone's,
Mm.
ano, tapos na yung heavy nyo, you're looking
Yeah.
for a quick game, pero you don't wanna break out Splendor or ano.
Yeah.
This is like your, ano, it's also good for like a nice casual game night. You don't wanna
Yes.
do something heavy, yeah. So, pwede siya doon. Game
Yeah.
groups, four. We played this for three.
3 and 4 players.
I
It
prefer
can
it.
play up to five.
Yeah. So I think Bench mentioned or someone mentioned na parang the ideal count is always max, ay ano, max minus one.
Yeah.
So if ang max niya is five, I agree na
Four.
mas, I like it at four. I
Yeah.
like four kasi you
Me
do
too.
have to take turns eh. So yeah.
Yes. There's more off turns then. I mean,
Yes.
it's on the higher end of the scale. But yeah, I agree with Drew. It's like a gateway plus game. So parang when you're trying to move away from the gateway games and I guess try to introduce more complex games,
Yeah.
this would be one. But again, I guess in on it this would be true for all games. Set your expectations, right? So this is a dice
Yeah.
rolling game. So you will roll dice every turn, every time.
Yeah.
So if you hate dice, so this will not be the game for you. So there is
Also,
that
it's not
luck
heavy.
factor.
Hindi siya
Yeah.
heavy, so don't expect like yung if you like puzzly games na
Yeah.
medyo yung complication, this might not work for you, but it has enough of the moving components to satisfy those people, maybe as a mid to light game.
Yeah, this if you're looking for those type of games, this ain't it. Yeah,
No.
so it's a yeah, it's in the light to medium scale of the of heaviness.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So last thing, something that we would like to introduce to everyone with our How Fun is series, we would like to just come up with something to reskin or theme the game.
Yeah. So this came out as an idea because whenever we play a game, we've started to think about how we would retheme something or maybe tweak the rules or
Yeah.
something to that effect. So for those who are playing, you've had this urge. You started to put your game designer hat on and then think of, oh, how would I execute this game if I had a chance?
Mm-hmm.
So would you like me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a standing idea.
Sige,
Okay.
yeah.
Instead of space theme, I would make it, ipipitch ko siya sa'yo, like an
Sige,
elevator
go.
pitch.
Okay, sige, sige.
All right. Pretend you are in the late 1800s Europe
Okay.
and you are in charge of a shipping business. Your
Uh-huh.
job is to grow your fleet of ships and grow your money and become a great merchant. The name
Mm-hmm.
of the game, the Meridian.
Okay.
And then the same object is instead of buying spaceships, you're
Uh,
buying actual ships.
yeah,
Trading
okay.
ships. Now, there are different types of ships. Merong trading ships,
Uh-huh.
merong high quality ships.
Uh,
And you have an option of buying maybe some pirate ships, that
oh.
do nefarious things to your fellow merchants.
Pwede, pwede. Mhm.
Tapos, when you draw, you can either skin it like, okay, we're competing ships, competing companies, but we're also competing, like, let's say, countries.
Uh-huh.
Ikaw, British company
Mm-mm.
ka, and I'm a Spanish company. We're all competing against,
Uh-huh.
and during the rules, we would um, maybe draw a random ability or a group ability for your shipping company. Like for example, once every turn, you may you may have the ability to reuse your six when you roll a six.
Mm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Ganon. So it's random, and then I would add some sort of set collection end game trigger thing just to spice things up.
Mhm.
Maybe one of the group goals is if you collect maybe three types of a pirate ship, you get an additional 5 point boost.
Yeah. Okay,
That
interesting.
that way the ships and the cards that you get have more permanence and more value. Hindi lang
Yeah.
siya a means towards getting points. They actually, you're looking for specific ships and specific names for your game. That's how
Yeah.
the Meridian.
Interesting. Interesting direction that you went there.
Yeah.
Mine, on the other hand, is very simple. It's straightforward then. What I thought of is making kasi yung pinaka-fun part of me of Space Base is the dice rolling. Eh.
Yes.
So we're doubling up on that. We're going to a casino.
Oh, I love it.
We're going to Las Vegas. So,
If it's still space though,
pwedeng space casino na lang instead.
or you can
Well,
call it kung space siya, space ace. Pero kung base na lang siya,
ah.
ace base.
Space Ace is space. I
Yeah.
like Space Ace. Yeah.
Yes.
So it parang it doesn't have to actually mimic an existing casino feature. So it could just be a new casino game, a
Mhm.
gambling game basically. But it will be the same. So you're just trying to improve your odds on certain numbers during each turn.
Oh,
So parang and but there's the threat or the risk I guess to for it to be seen as a gambling game. Pero not
yes.
really.
No,
Pero siguro paper money lang or coins. So
right.
that's your goal. So parang have the most money by the end of the game. Something like that.
I like
Space
it.
Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space themed na gambling thing.
Oo, di ba? So
Malawak yung ano niya. Ngayon, that ties up a lot more. when it comes to the rules and the theme. Because now you have like actual
Yeah,
the theme connects more to the dice, which is the main component. I
exactly.
like it. I like it.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
That is those are three games for you.
For
Space
those
Ace, the
listening
Meridian,
and you
and
made
Space.
it to the end of the review, let us know which one you liked. Do you like
Yeah.
the casino thing or would you like
Uh,
the historic merchant thing?
or will you stick with the space base, the original?
Or yeah, I'll just stick with the space base. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that is it for today's episode. So again, this is How Fun is Space Base? My name is Drew. Sorry.
Oh, and I'm Ivan.
And bye.
Bye.